Hey guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip, and this is my new mic, but we call it Sure. Guys, I wanted to have a little chit chat and kind of a reactionary video to hopefully enlighten some of these Wade Wilson super stands who just cannot see the forest from the trees here. And when I say that, guys, what I'm saying is that, yes, I got messed up hair today. Do not look, do not make fun. You see. Guys, the thing is that there's a bunch of people that just don't want to believe what this guy did. And I think, in all fairness, that we should show them very plain and simple who Wade Wilson is and what he says. And if you use any bit of your brain, you'll know he's a liar. And more than likely, 99.99 as close as you could be without witnessing something. He unalived these two women. Not because he wanted to steal from them, not because it was in self-defense, not because there was any kind of argument, simply because he wanted to. And instead of doing his punishment for the crime that he got caught doing, he's decided to try to fool a bunch of people. So his first story was that he did this. He unalived two people, and they're not coming back. And that's what he said to his dad. And then it became, no, I did not. And then it became, not only did I not do that, but I was forced to tell everybody that I did that because I am a superhero. And instead of me really being Wade Wilson Deadpool, I should be Superman Clark Kent, right? Because I saved the day. Like, there was an ex-trafficking ring down in the Keys, which I totally believe that there's probably a lot of them down there. And, but I don't believe for a second that Wade Wilson said, let me save the day and let me get some people saved here, because I don't believe it. I don't believe it because I don't think that there's anything good inside this guy. So I am interested to see what the brain scans say, but either which way, he's EVIL. Because he is. So why there's around 40,000 people that are like convinced that Wade Wilson is telling the truth, well, let's break that down a little bit, folks. Let's show you, how you've been duped. And if you don't see it, then it's because you don't want to see it. And that would be the only reason. I don't know that I like this hanging here like that. I don't like that at all. I'm probably going to twist the up and do that. All right, guys, but I'm not going to do it now. Let's get into this interview where Wade sounds stupid. And let's call him on it. And let's have a little bit of fun while we can.
Of Wade's interview that I previously uploaded. In the second call, you will meet Dr. D.
Guys,
and in the
kudos
third
to
call,
phone calls
Wade
from
seeks
prison.
compensation
That
for
YouTube
another
channel.
interview.
Thank you so
Take
much.
a listen.
Hello.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Are you there?
Okay. All right. Yeah, that system's a little wonky there.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you leave the spot, you can
I do.
look for the Hellcat, but you don't find the Hellcat. So
No, I don't find the Hellcat. And then what I do is, I say to myself, okay, I can't find the car. Mila has a whole situation going on with herself, and this is what I wanted to just real quick throw in with you is 5 months ago, Mila put a battery case against me, and she actually went to the state's attorney and had it dropped and dismissed. So this is nothing new, just to let you know. I kind of want to expose her because of the things she said about me. So boom. So that's one situation. Now, I couldn't find the Hellcat, and
Guys, let's stop there for a second. So he's pissed off at Mila, who was his ex-girlfriend, but was his girlfriend at the time of the unaliving. The Hellcat is a car that is Mila's car. It's not his car. It's a manual. It's a stick shift. Wade does not know how to drive it. He does not know how to drive it. He ended up with the car that night because he took it from Mila, even though he doesn't know how to drive it. He had 2 other women in the car. One of them he had sex with. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. While he was supposedly still with Mila after he took Mila's car, which he doesn't know how to drive. He and the other 2 women go to this guy's house that they meet at the bar, the Buddha. Nobody knows each other until they meet at the bar that night. Okay? Mila, she's no longer in the picture. Now there's Wade Wilson, Christine Melton, Christine's friend, and I think this guy named Jason. I think his name is Jason. And they end up going to Jason's house. They do some DURGS. Jason says that Christine and Wade were totally into each other, that they had sexual relation. Wade Wilson pulls a Bill Clinton and says, I did not have sexual relations with that woman, when asked from Mila in a phone call that Mila is actually exposing Wade, and Wade is confessing to what he did, not realizing that his phone call was being recorded by the media. He knows the phone call is being recorded by the jails because it always says it. It says this phone call is being recorded. So, but anyway, just to catch you up on where we're at. So Wade is in jail and he's doing this interview with this news outlet. This is part 2. I can't find part 1. Am I stupid? Probably. So the reporter's asking his story, and his story's changed a few times. So we have to admit, and we have to realize that he told his dad that he unalived 2 women that aren't going to be here anymore. He told his dad that. He wanted his dad to get him an Uber to get him out of the area, and his dad called the police instead. Hey, kudos to his dad. There's nothing wrong with that. That's his bio dad, because his dad sensed, oh man, my kid, he's sick. He's gonna do this shit again. I know he's gonna do this again because he's not well. So, and he heard in his son's voice that, he kind of got off on that, so he crossed that line to taking somebody's life and not feeling any kind of remorse. And so how do you come back from that, So, and he confessed to, making the other woman's body look like spaghetti by running her over so many times. I mean, come on, man. So now he's telling, no, I did not say that. I did not do that. And so he's telling this reporter a story that ain't the truth. And then there comes another story which comes out, which is, I think, is the current story, that Wade Wilson was in the Keys, which, okay, he was in the Keys, granted and fine, maybe he supposedly was in the Keys, but that he was in an ex-trafficking ring that he noticed, and he wanted to save the women. And when he went to save the women, the bad guys in the ex-trafficking ring, the guys who were in charge, this is their payback. So Wade Wilson doesn't really want to be Deadpool. No, he wants to be Clark Kent. He wants to be Superman. He wants to say that he's saving the day here, and that his punishment is that these guys, that the guys that are in charge of the ex-trafficking ring, are so mad at him, that they're going to unalive. They've threatened to unalive people in his family, and they made Wade make the phone calls of confession because that's how they're getting back at him for what he did. Just my imagination running away with me. Wake up, Wade. You're an idiot. But that's where we're at. So actually, we're with my story, we're ahead of the game. We are at before Wade has gone to the ex-trafficking story. We're at the, I'm innocent, I didn't do nothing. So that's where we're at on this call. Just so you guys understand where we are. I just want to be clear. And guys, again, these are phone calls from prison. They paid for these phone calls. They put them up. I'm reacting to them. I never take anybody's full clips or, I try to make teasers that are interesting so that you guys will go to the channel and say, fuck Toddy. I don't want to hear anything that Toddy's got to say. She's interrupting this shit. I want to go right to the dialogue of what's going on with Wade Wilson. And please, by all means, do that at Phone Calls from Prison. So, but let's go on. If you want to go on with me, we'll go on for a little bit more, and then I'm going to end it and, recommend you guys go over there.
Against me, and she actually went to the state's attorney and had it dropped and dismissed. So this is nothing new. Just to let you know, I kind of want to expose her because of the things she said about me. So boom. So that's one situation. Now, I couldn't find the Hellcat, and kind of gave up. I can't find it. Hopefully, it'll be there later on. We'll figure it out then.
It's just
and
a car.
What I did was I go back to Cape Coral, which I was luckily able to find. Went to Cape Coral. Yeah, yes sir. I'm a boss like that. That's what I do, man. So I went to Cape Coral, and I was gonna go and find Christine's house again, and I knew the general area, but I couldn't find it. And this is when I came into contact with Diane. So this is bringing up, yes, this is so.
So he's with Christine Melton. He ends up at her house in the wee morning hours when she's sleeping. He reaches over and he decides to see what his fingers feel like, I guess, around her neck. And he unalives her. And so he's taken her car. And what he's telling this person, this reporter, is, I borrowed Christine's car. She let me borrow her car. Christine let me borrow her car so that I could go find the Hellcat that ran out of gas the night before. I'm not familiar with this area, but I just want to find the Hellcat that's a really expensive car, and by the way, is my girlfriend's car. Does that make any fucking sense? Because he finds the Hellcat, and then what? He leaves Christine's car because he's one person. How's he driving two cars? Wouldn't it make sense? Wouldn't it make sense that he says to Christine, yo, babe, or baby, doesn't he calls everybody baby. Yo, baby, why don't you get in your car and you know the area. You remember where the Hellcat is? Remember? Because maybe Christine, who's from the area, might remember by chance where the Hellcat ran out of gas. I would think that she would, right? So, and also she would be the person that could help drive the second car. Genius. So when you find the Hellcat, you could do your best, dumbass, to drive the stick that you don't know how to drive. And she could at least drive her car. You could see you later, alligator. But no. See, that would be the true story. But no. Because Wade Wilson had already unalived Christine Melton. And he stole her car. And he probably was looking for the Hellcat to just leave Christine's car. And I don't know what he was going to do with the Hellcat except fuck up that transmission. Because you just don't know how to drive it. So, but this is the story he's telling this reporter who has a bit of common sense and is like, yeah, that doesn't make any fucking sense, Wade Wilson.
So this is bringing up, yes, this is when I came in contact with Diane. So I went to Cape Coral, and I was gonna go and find Christine's house again, and I knew the general area, but I couldn't find it. And this is when I came into contact with Diane. So this is bringing up, yes, this is when I came in contact with Diane. I stopped and asked her for directions. First of all, I needed directions to kind of vaguely find out where Kristen's house is.
What was Diane doing when you pulled up to her? What was Diane doing?
When I pulled up to her, all she was doing was walking. She was just walking. That was it. She wasn't doing anything particular. Not that I remember. She didn't really. Not that she wasn't doing anything, as I recall. So I pulled up to her. I asked for directions. Kind of briefly trying to figure out where Christine lives. And also, the second thing I needed to ask her was from here, how do I get back to Fort Myers as well? I needed directions to both kind of figure it out, both places.
So this guy sees this woman walking. She's minding her own business. He says she's minding her own business. He sees her walking, right? And he says to himself, well, let me stop and ask this woman where Christine lives. I don't know Christine's last name. Maybe if I describe what she looks like, this random woman will know who that random woman is. He doesn't have an address on Christine Melton. He doesn't know the area. So he wants this reporter to believe that he saw this woman and said, yo, Christine, who I keep calling Kristen, but Christine, blonde hair, pretty. Where's she live, man? I met her at the Buddha last night. Where's she live? Like, we're supposed to believe that, and this reporter's supposed to believe that, right? We're actually supposed to believe there's dog hair on this already. We're supposed to believe that that's what went down. Do you know how stupid Wade Wilson's army of dingbats? Do you not see how stupid this sounds? Do you not see how stupid this sounds? But you guys believe it. This is the story that you want to believe, right? This is your genius. This is your Prince Charming. Your genius.
Directions, kind of briefly trying to figure out where Christine lives. And also, the second thing I needed to ask her was, from here, how do I get back to Fort Myers as well? I needed directions to both kind of figure it out, both places. Well, she actually wanted me to help give her like a ride to work, so I did. I didn't mind doing that, and I gave her a ride. We drove together for maybe 4 or 5 minutes, and then she had me drop her off at a bus station, like one of the bus with the benches and the sign, the post, and everything.
She didn't ask you to drive her to work?
No, she did not. She did not. Maybe she didn't like me. I don't really know if she didn't like me or was thrown off by me. Maybe she just didn't want to be in a car with a stranger anymore. Whatever the case may have been, I was content with her giving me directions and giving her a ride to where she needed to go. And then she just asked for me to drop her off at the bus station. And if I remember correctly, the bus station, I remember that we had passed like a school or something, and not far from that area and location, I dropped her off at the bus station.
Okay, so Diane leaves your...
The woman said, hey, give me a ride, please. Supposedly, give me a ride, please. And he said, yeah. And then she was like, yo, man, forget my ride. Just take me to that bus station right there. That little bus stop. He's talking about a bus stop with... He's not talking about a bus station. He's talking about a bus stop. But she wanted a ride. What happened? What happened? Wade, come on. What happened? So it gets a little better. It gets a little better. I'd love to say that there's some creativeness there, but the story is just really not creative. It's kind of a dull story. The other story that comes out with the ex-trafficking ring, that's a little bit more inventive. I don't know who came up with that brilliant idea. Probably not this genius, but anyway.
Drop her off at the bus station, and if I remember correctly, the bus station, I remember that we had passed like a school or something, and not far from that area and location, I dropped her off at the bus station.
Okay, so Diane leaves your car that you took from Christine alive and well. You had nothing to do with the death of Diane Ruiz.
Correct. No, I did not.
Do you find it at all strange, though, that the two women you had interactions with in less than 24 hours both ended up dying in very bad ways?
I agree that their deaths are tragic and sad, but do I find it strange? No, I do not, because I know what I have done and what I have not done, and what I'm telling you is exactly what the truth is, and everyone, including,
You don't find it strange? Like, you wouldn't even say that's a coinkydink? So you wouldn't find it strange in, like, it's just an everyday occurrence that you meet two random people and all of a sudden they're unalived, and you don't say to yourself, man, I saw those two people, how the fuck did that happen? And he wants people to believe this. Wade Wilson army of women and some men. Really? Really? This is what you believe? This is the truth? This is what you call the truth? This is what you want to ask people to put money behind? And this is what you want people to invest in? This guy? He's not, again, he's not even fucking creative, man. He's just...
Do you find it at all strange, though, that the two women you had interactions with in less than 24 hours both ended up dying in very bad ways?
I agree that their deaths are tragic and sad, but do I find it strange? No, I do not, because I know what I have done and what I have not done, and what I'm telling you is exactly what the truth is, and everyone, including, those who have said things concerning the story of the topic of the story, even those people, they're going to find out that I'm innocent. They're going to see the truth of what everything really is. So do I find it strange? Absolutely not. I can't help what happens to people. I have no control over that. All I can control is what I do.
So after you drop Diane off at the bus stop, you then go to see a potential friend at their business, because the surveillance video is you stopping at a local business, getting out. So talk to me about what happened after you dropped Diane off.
Okay, after I dropped Diane off, by the directions that she gave me, I was able to navigate myself back to Fort Myers. Once I got into Fort Myers, like I said, Mila had her situation going on. I didn't want to be around that, and so I went to, it's called Mateo Graphics, and it's a place that I used to be employed at. And I went there and pulled in and parked and went inside and sat down and smoked a few cigarettes, kind of just did what I normally do, just relaxed, sat at the computer and the phone.
Did you tell anyone there that you had killed someone? Because people at that business say that you said you had hurt some women.
No, that is incorrect. That's just hearsay that's going around. That's not anything that's true.
Okay.
And it's a good thing that I like that you asked me these questions, because this is very relevant to what's going on, and I do appreciate that. This is the truth that needs to come out. So no, I didn't tell anybody anything like that. I didn't confess to anything. I didn't tell anybody that I harmed anyone. I didn't do any of these things.
Okay, so then you leave Mateo Graphics, and then you go where?
When I left Mateo Graphics, actually, I left the car there, and I walked on foot, and, I just wanted to walk, and that's my business, and that's what I did. I walked, and that was it. There wasn't really much more. There's not a big story of anything that I did further.
You being found in a homeowner's house in Cape Coral,
right.
You didn't go in and break in, you didn't wear someone else's clothes and eat their food and drink their beverages?
Right, and that's what the news is saying. The news is saying that. The news is saying that for sure. So, no, I did not. But
guys, I walked because it's my business. That's what I chose to do. I walked. We know that that's not true. We know that that's not true. And, I mean, he just sounds so stupid. Like, who am I thinking of? Who am I thinking of? He just sounds so stupid. He's like, he just sounds so stupid. Like a stupid jock. Like your stereotypical stupid jock. But I don't even know that he's good in sports. But you know what I'm saying? Like, he just sounds so stupid. I wanted to walk. It's my I can do it. It's America. I can do it. I know he didn't say it's America, but it's like, it's my business. If I want to walk, I could walk. We know he didn't walk. We know that he told these people what he did because they knew what he did. Otherwise, this guy, everybody had ESP. Like, they found Diane's body because he told his dad where it was. So he just had ESP. I mean, I don't get this shit. And yet again, there's 40,000 people and over $90,000 trying to free this guy. Where that money should be going to the victims' families. Like, that's where that money should be going. And that's where the prison system, jail system, justice system has to say, wait a minute. It's not okay that this guy is perpetuating a scam behind bars, telling people stories, having people do his shit for him, making, delegating a bunch of people, his fucking team. This guy, Prince Charming, this guy, Mr. Genius, who put all this shit, this guy right here, this guy. Guys, watch the rest of the interview. Phone calls from prison. There's not a lot left to it, but please watch it. And check out the other phone calls that are made. It's kind of like you want to take the people that believe that he's innocent and kind of like, I don't know, I would say take their head and kind of smash it against a wall, but you can't do that. Maybe throw some sand in their face. I don't know. Blow some truth serum up their nose. Guys, anything, because to believe this guy and it's insulting. It is so insulting. And the fact that at least 40,000 people believe him just shows us that there's a real stupid part of the population. All right, guys, this is Issues with Toddy Oneskip. I will see you next time. I'm supposed to do some interesting stuff this weekend. I'm hoping to see you in different places. We'll see how that goes. All right, guys, take it easy. Be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Always be kind. Always be kind. All right, guys, see you next time. Take care.